All right.
We live?
Yes, we is.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Infernal Brotherhood of Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders weekly review of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Today we're discussing Season 1, Episode 8, Bombad Jedi.
Aw, yeah.
I completely fucking forgot about this episode, even though I have the Jar Jar toy from this episode. I don't know how I forgot about this one.
Isn't this where the whole Jar Jar's the Sith Lord came from?
Pretty much, if I remember
Just
correctly.
the robe. I like the subtle hint. Whose Jedi robe is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, clearly.
It's like, slut, she's banging a Jedi.
It's covered in Jedi cum. Just filthy.
I wonder what the midi-chlorian count in their scene would be.
I wonder.
Because I would imagine it has its own
right
count because it's its own thing.
Yep.
But would it go per individual swimmer or would it be the group? Like, I wonder how that works.
It has to be per swimmer because every one of those has an opportunity to become a full-fledged Jedi. So
it's true. It's true. I guess that makes sense.
They each. Oh, wait a second. That means she's taken more midi-chlorians at once than any human being ever. It's like one shot.
Yeah.
I bet she spits it out too, just out of spite.
Probably.
How rude. How rude.
Yes. Oh, that was awesome.
All right, let's talk about this episode. And I did not plan on going that direction with this. Sorry, sorry everyone. All right, so this episode is set up, and I don't know, maybe a subtext for this could be Padme Amidala, Rambo. Because
yeah, absolutely.
She's in everything, every time she's on camera, she is super bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't get it. Okay. So the setup is an old friend of the family, a Rhodian by the name of Senator Onaconda Farr, which she refers to as Uncle Ono, reaches out to the Senate for help because their supply ships have been targeted by pirate attacks. They don't ever go beyond that, but it seems like it would have been a nice bow if they just sort of said, oh, well, we've discovered the pirate attacks were connected to the separatists, and that would have been a nice bow. But they didn't do it. So we all clearly know. If you've watched Star Wars Resistance, you know pirates always work for the bad guys.
Yeah. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's going over to Rhodia. She meets him. He's like, look, I hate to pull a Lando, but I'm pulling a Lando. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? I don't know Lando. And he's like, well, here, I don't really have a choice in the matter, but we were starving and stuff, so I made a deal with Newt Gunray, you know, your old friend. And it turns out he wanted you captured alive, and he said that he would give us supplies and we need beef sticks. Everyone needs beef sticks. So
that's true. You got to snap into that Slim Jim.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Fucking. Yeah. So he basically turns her over to Newt Gunray, or that's the plan anyway, in order to, and become part of the separatist movement in order to get any type of supplies, which seems very, very short-sighted. But I understand desperate conditions.
Oh yeah.
If the Rhodians are seriously starving, the entire planet is starving. You have to do something as their leader, and so I don't really fault him, and I never really faulted Lando. But you would think a senator would be, I don't know, a little more loyal than a poker player, a sabacc player. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I don't know. His people are literally dying, and the Senate doesn't want to do shit. Like, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
I'd cave.
Well, what we haven't mentioned as of yet is that she arrived with two individuals in tow, C-3PO, human cyborg relations, formerly known, and Jar Jar Binks.
Of course, because he's in the Senate.
Because why wouldn't he be with her? And we all have that friend where we're just like, I don't not want to invite him, but I I don't really want him there.
He's talking about me, people.
I didn't want to say anything, but
I know. It's cool. I got it.
all right. Subtle hint. And so she has both of them stay at the ship as she's going off to meet her, presumably her old friend, to discuss ways that she can assist them. But she is instead captured by the Rhodians and taken by B-1 droids, courtesy of Gunray's own detachment and the Separatist movement, into custody and taken to a tower. Meanwhile, Gungan Jar Jar and droid C-3PO are sitting being taunted by jungle creatures, swamp creatures, which is just a weird setup that didn't...
Yeah. Oh, I'm from the swamp. I can talk to them.
The whole thing was... I think they just wanted to show typical Jar Jar jumping around looking like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that was sort of his thing in, like, episode 1, right? He was like, no, I can talk to them.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's fucking weird. Anyway, I feel like that's the only reason why they did that. They're like, hey, let's make him look like a super duper dope. But in the end, he's going to end up doing a little bit of Finding Nemo as Dory and actually be able to communicate with the damn whale. And he talks to the giant slug. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Through a series of unfortunate events, the B-1 droids come to destroy any of the companions that Padme may have brought with her. And because it's Jar Jar, he is probably more in tune with the Force than he is in tune with his own brain. He successfully not only fends off the droids, but in the process saves C-3PO's life, destroys their only way out, and accidentally poses as a Jedi, which terrorizes Newt Gunray and allows most of the droid detachment to go searching and dealing with the supposed Jedi as Newt Gunray is going to collect Padme. Padme, because again, she's Rambo, if you guys didn't know, breaks out of herself through her own cunning and wiles, and then just goes on this secret rampage, destroying every droid in her path, up until the point where she decides, well, maybe I should save Jar Jar because I ran across him, and maybe we don't want him to die in every film.
Well, that's the best part, is when she bumps into 3PO and is like, oh, where's Jar Jar? Oh, he's trying to rescue. Oh.
There's just always that sigh, like, well, let's get to the ship. Well, the ship doesn't exist. Oh, the droids destroyed the ship? No. Jar Jar?
Yeah.
I do have to say,
Anyway, brings him.
that scene with all of the B-1 droids all together, like, all right, let's go get that, let's go get the Jedi, and then one after another, Roger, 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 Roger.
Oh my
Roger,
God, that
Roger,
was
Roger, Roger.
so stupid and funny. It had me laughing like an idiot.
I'm becoming endeared to the B-1s.
Yeah, it's hard not to like.
Like, I'm just starting to really like them. And then when they both go around the column that Padme was hiding behind, just sort of picking them off one by one, like, put your hands up. Oh, where'd she go? And they look up, they're like, oh, and she like blows them away. I'm just like, oh, they're so dumb and cute and stupid battle droids, and why am I liking them now? I just like the inflection that the actor gives the droids.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it makes me like them more.
Because it gives them personality.
Yeah. Well, that's also part of the problem, is that they're droids. They don't need personality. They just execute. Give them an order. They'll try their best per their programming, and that's kind of it. So why do they need, like, whoa, what? Huh, what? Like, there's all sorts of human emotion that they're exhibiting that shouldn't be there at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I say that, but then it hits in my head. Every single droid has that. Even R2, and you never hear him say a human word.
Yeah, but they also weren't mass-produced for a single cause.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I'm back on the fence. I'm back on it. Fuck them. Why are they have tonal inflections? It seems like an unnecessary build and makes it more expensive.
Especially given the fact that the droid army is quite literally just that. It's a droid army. They communicate with other droids. It's like, why would droids need any sort of like emotion or anything like that in their vocal or their vocoders, but whatever.
Yeah. Ah, weird. Anyway, ultimately, Jar Jar, again, he has to be in tune with the Force. He is too lucky not to have the Force on his side. Like, he's just too lucky. There's no other way I can rationalize it in my head. He befriends a fucking slug that ends up saving him for literally no reason, because a second before that it was trying to eat him. And then he kisses the slug, and they are like linked now. Like, it's like a weird romantic Shrek donkey and dragon connection. Right?
I can see that. I definitely can't wait for the sequel to see the Gungan massive giant slug babies.
How many midi-chlorians does Jar Jar have in his? All the sperm are just sort of hitting each other on the head, not knowing where to go because they're so
They're all
dumb.
just swimming in circles.
Yeah.
There's no breeding with him.
And ultimately, this slug helps distract Gunray so that, again, Rambo can step in, grab the gun, destroy her guards, and recapture Newt Gunray, because C-3PO actually did something effective and sent a message off to the Republic. So that's kind of the episode.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Well, I mean, really, that's about it. There's a lot of woo 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 and shit. So
There's so much of that.
I mean, you guys kind of missed that unless you watched it. But
I do like
it's a two-parter, so it makes sense that it kind of just ends abruptly.
Is it really a two-parter? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a two-part arc.
Oh, I didn't look at the next episode. Okay, dang it. I don't want to have to endure 2 weeks in a row of Jar Jar. It's starting to wear on me emotionally.
Okay, here's what you do. Every time that I have to stomach this shit, I just think we sat through Resistance.
That's true.
Niku is the worst thing that has ever been made.
All right. I'm with you. 100%. I did like at the very end when Padme gave Uncle Ono an out and he took it. I thought that was really nice. He's like, no, yeah, it was all a ruse just to lure you in, Gunray, you dumbass.
Yeah.
And Gunray was so stupid. He's like, oh, why don't you? It's like super offensive accent. Why don't you?
Yeah, God, I hate those.
It's so bad. Actually, I think they played it down for this, right?
Little bit. It's not as bad
as
as the movie.
Yeah, episode 1 is really hard to listen to. It's just like the worst accents and most racist, or not racist, but definitely racial accents I've ever heard in my life. I was just like, oh, come on, George. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, it was definitely over
You're
the top.
supposed to be inclusive, not fuck. Yeah, so that was... I do think they played it down a little bit. It wasn't as thick and heavy. But then, again, maybe Gunray is just being exposed to more people, and so he's broadening his dialect.
That could be it, because in the beginning of Phantom Menace, I mean, he's mostly just hanging out with droids. So
Yeah.
maybe he's evolving as an individual.
You know what? Even Newt Gunray deserves a little growth until he meets Anakin. Until he meets Darth Vader, and then holy shit, it's on. Pretty awesome. Yeah. So I don't know. What was your sort of maybe favorite and least favorite parts of this episode?
Jar Jar.
Both.
Absolutely. It's just it's funny seeing him get away with the shit he gets away with. It's like, how the fuck doesn't he ever die?
Yeah.
And especially to know that he's around during the Aftermath series.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, how has he not killed himself yet?
That's what I'm saying. He's like latent Force abilities. There's no other way for it to be like reasonable.
I mean, it could just be like gambler's luck. Like, I mean, what Lando has and what Han has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. It just seems like, I don't know. The same, like if just one of these misadventures, if it was just one of them, I'd be like, oh yeah, well that's just gambler's luck. That he's just a really lucky person. But this is every day of his life.
That's very true.
Every single day he fucks up and just unwittingly saves everyone's lives. Like,
maybe that's why the Celestials lost their shit. They were trying to take care of Jar Jar.
Maybe that was it. We figured it out. We decoded it. That was going to be the real episode 9.
Yeah.
Fucking the Celestials coming in to help deal with Jar Jar and his midi-chlorian load. It had spread across an entire planetary system.
That's gross.
That's gross. All right, yeah, I think my favorite part of this was definitely watching Padme just whip ass. And you knew she was going to do it from the very beginning of the episode.
Oh, of course.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have had her in it. And it always bugs me because her swan song is, "She died from a broken heart." Fuck you.
Yeah, that shit's so
This
stupid.
is the toughest woman we've ever seen in a Star Wars film. Ever. Not even Leia has done the on-the-ground fighting that her mom did. And she died of a broken heart? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I can't accept it.
I still hate that shit.
So stupid. I mean, what? It tore her vagina having twins, and she bled to death. That's better.
That's understandable. Everybody's going to believe it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a little adult for the kids, but, they came out of one, so.
They got to learn somehow.
My least favorite had to be, it's got to be Jar Jar. Like, I don't mind watching his stupid little antics and stuff, but that interaction with that slug, it was just so fucking, like, it was so dumb, and it did a 180 out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, "I'm going to eat you. I love you." So weird.
Yeah. Especially because it was throwing shit at him.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone, dude.
It was throwing its own load at him.
That's probably what that was. It was just
It was
space slug nut.
It was he totally money shot C-3PO.
He did. At least Jar Jar was nice enough to wipe it out of his eye. So delicately, too.
You know what I totally forgot during this entire episode? I had screenshots that I was going to cycle through during the discussion. And I was like, hey, I'm not doing my other show anymore, so I can build these up to be a little bit more interesting. But I forgot. So
I think the next review, that's what it should be. It should just be a constant loop of the money shot. Even though it has nothing to do with the next episode, potentially.
Yeah.
That'd just be perfect.
That should be the intro to all of our episodes. Like
Done.
Every one of them.
We're going to redo the theme music, and that's going to be our just...
Here's midi-chlorian in your eye. Oh, dude, we've got to do something like that.
Yeah.
It's too good not to do it. Oh, man, we're going to get banned from YouTube.
Fuck yeah. Let's do this.
All right, that's all I have for this week. Anything else you wanted to cover?
Nope. I think that's about it.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, for listening, and let us know what you thought of this episode. And until the next review, may the Force be with you.
Misa eyeball stuck in the sleeve.
Wake up, Princess Mimi. Princess Mimi.
One shot. That's